Hi guys, happy Tuesday. I hope you had a chance to talk with your teachers yesterday about what your life might look like when you're done with high school. You might go to college, you might go into the military, maybe you'll start training for a job. Your teacher worked hard and went to college so they could be a teacher. Perhaps they can share with you where they went to school, where they went to college today. But I hope you have gotten kind of excited thinking about your future plans. Did you know that there are nearly 5,000 colleges in the United States? Think about for a second, how many colleges do you think there might be in Indiana? You ready? The correct number is 50. There are about 50 colleges in Indiana. You don't have to go to college in Indiana either. I went to college in Wisconsin. I went to the University of Wisconsin-La Crosse when I first started college, and now I go to school at Purdue. I'm going to school to get more degrees, and that's pretty cool too. I'm going to share with you a book today. It's called When I Grow Up. It's by Yankovic. Because I'm still wondering what I might be when I grow up. I waited so long for the hours to pass, but soon it was noon there in Mrs. Krupp's class, and Thursday at noon, as I'm sure you know well, is the time of the week when we do show and tell. And this week, the subject so special to me was when I grow up, what am I going to be? That's something I'd really been thinking about, and I just couldn't wait to let all those thoughts out. So when Miss Krupp said, "Who's ready to share?" you can guess who was there with his hand in the air. I raised both my hands as high as they'd go, and I bounced up and down when, wouldn't you know? Well, Mrs. Krupp picked me, yes, me, to go first. Oh, I was so happy I thought I would burst. I proudly stood up and began my oration concerning my choices for my future vocation. Ahem! Esteemed friends and colleagues, and dear Mrs. Krupp, I know what I'm going to be when I grow up. Why, I'll be the greatest chef you've ever seen. The world will go crazy for my hot cuisine and tantalize taste buds with my rigatoni, sautéed with black truffles and pickled bologna, surrounded by kumquats and candied pig feet, topped with shrimp-flavored lollipops. Bon appetit! My walls will be filled with awards that I've gotten for toast on a stick and my Twinkies au gratin. My kitchen will be the most famous in France, so make reservation 12 years in advance. There's no doubt about it. I'm certain, you see, a world-renowned chef is what I'm going to be. That's very nice, Billy, sweet Miss Krupp said. Who wants to be next? Maybe Susie or Fred? I said, hold the phone now, I haven't departed. Hang on to your seats, 'cause I'm just getting started. See, maybe instead I could be a snail trainer. Man, that would be awesome. Why, that's a no-brainer. I'll teach all my snails to do really neat tricks. They'll play dead, roll over, and even fetch sticks. They'll play, of course all the sticks will come back 2 years later. But working with snails, what could be greater? They'll do any stunt that I'd like. Holy moly, I'll train them to pedal bikes really slowly, then ooze through a huge ring of fire, and crawl at the snail's pace across the high wire, then finish by writing my name with their tails. That's right, I'll be Billy, the master of snails. Or else maybe I'll be the lathe operator who makes the hydraulic torque wrench calibrator, which fine-tunes the wrench that's specifically made to retighten the nuts on the lateral blade that's directly beneath the main radial sockets inside cooling system on X-14 rockets. And since this profession's as cool as can be, well, who would be better to do it than me? Hey, here's an idea, perhaps just for laughs. I might make my living by milking giraffes. It's oh so cliche to get milk from a cow, and I bet all those cows need a break anyhow. Imagine me milking way up in the air. I'd use a tall ladder instead of a chair. What? Milking giraffes? Mrs. Krupp said. Oh, please, I countered. How else could we make giraffe cheese? Now, don't interrupt me. I'm not really through yet. There's still lots of stuff that I'm planning to do yet. 'Cause maybe I'll be a gorilla masseuse. Or an artist who sculpts out of chocolate mousse. Or maybe a rodeo clown movie director. Or maybe a professional pickle inspector. Or a big sumo wrestler, or a hedge fund investor, or smelly pit sniffing deodorant tester. Or I'll be an expert on nuclear fission, or foot model, or friendly mortician, or waiter, or skater, or master debater, or dinosaur duster museum curator, or TV repairman, or sidewalk sign waver, or part-time assistant tarantula shaver. That's about when Mrs. Krupp said, "Now, Billy, please make up your mind. This is getting quite silly. Which one of those things are you going to choose?" I shuffled around, and I looked at my shoes. Then finally I said, "My great-grandfather Bob spent a whole lot of things, had a whole bunch of jobs. A butcher, a barber, a bellman, a bouncer, a telephone psychic, and bingo announcer. You know what? He just turned 103, and he's still not quite sure what he wants to be. See, I'm only 8 now, so frankly I'm hoping you'll cut me some slack if I leave options open. Let's just wait and find what my future brings. Hey, I might have time to do all of those things." And then the bell rang, and we went to lunch, and as I was sipping my pineapple punch, I pondered professions that I'd like to enter, like brave firefighter or crazy inventor. Or maybe, just maybe now when I grow up, I can be a great teacher, like dear Mrs. Krupp. The end. Billy wasn't quite sure what he wants to be when he grows up yet. And you know what? You don't have to be quite sure yet either. It might change a bunch of times before you're a grown-up. And it might change a bunch of times when you're a grown-up. And that's okay too.